Welcome back to the Black Sheep podcast for an exclusive breaking news. Menopause is happening
And
in my home.
and perimenopause is happening in our home.
So my wife says.
Well, maybe it's not happening for you. I don't know.
No, I'm just kidding. I think it probably is, but...
Menopause happened for me.
And I think it's funny because most people, when we have that conversation, which we don't always, but when we've had that conversation, I almost feel like most older women instantly judge you. Like, oh, that's not possible. Oh, you're not in menopause yet. Like, it's happened multiple times.
Well, it's funny because when I was in the transition and I was working with a hormone therapist and my cycle was going and I was going months without it and everybody kept saying, "Are you in menopause?" And I said, "No, I'm too young." No.
Yeah.
I was resistant to that reality. And then I'm actually in full-blown menopause, which is I'm over a year of no bleed. And so that in clinical terms would be post-menopause. So I'm officially in menopause. And when I tell women, because I'm 37, when I tell women I'm in menopause, it's interesting the reactions that I get because they're stunned because I don't look like the typical age for a woman to get it, and because I'm not the typical age. The typical age is closer to 50. So I'm a bit of an anomaly in the statistics of menopause, but
is it though? Because oh my God,
gotta turn up your mic.
this one.
There we go.
Sorry. Is it so hard to believe though? Because children, like girls, are getting their periods in like grade 6, grade 5. Wouldn't that anyway just push everything up? Anyway.
Well, I
Like
don't
the
think it is though. Like statistically, I think women are going into I haven't read anything anyway that says that women are going into menopause earlier. You're just a rare case because you have one ovary.
Yeah, so our I just believe that our bodies naturally know when the transition needs to come. Our bodies are pretty smart about that. I think there are lifestyle shifts and nutrition that bring girls into puberty a lot earlier because they're getting fed a lot more hormones at a younger age, which impact their development. But maybe we won't know that until, in a few decades. If that is the case for a lot of women, we'll find out.
Well, I think we pretty much have a study. Like, really, if I had have been writing things down, I'm not a big writer, but I've documented, obviously, with photos, that Evelyn is a perfect example of
Healthy development.
In my opinion, healthy development, based on just, for example, me and my brother, like how we looked as kids, and how I see other kids looking. And I think that I've been very conscious and conservative of what she's been eating and what meats she eats. And because we're big meat eaters, we love meat, but I've always been cautious about the meat that she's eating, hormones, steroids, right?
Yeah.
Antibiotics. And when you look at a lot of 13-year-old girls, like they're big. They're not only like big chested and like tall or like wide, but they're fat. Like a lot of them are fat.
Well, and they have so much more toxic exposure.
Yeah.
And inflammation at a young age.
Right. Inflammation. Yeah. And pimply. Like you could see it like coming out of you could just see it all coming out. And I don't see that out of her. So I do think that we have a pretty neat little study right there.
Diet.
Yeah.
Lifestyle, your environment, stress. Those are all impacts.
Never had sunscreen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like a handful of times when someone put something on her that they shouldn't have, but I mean, really very like...
Yeah, so limited toxic exposure.
Yeah, very limited.
So her natural transition has been healthy.
Yeah.
With the increase in hormones, it's interesting to see the difference in her adjusting to the increase in hormones as a young girl, to us also, well, me, sorry, adjusting to the decrease in hormones in my transition. So she's going into it and I'm going out of it roughly at the same time.
Yeah. I also think it's interesting the difference between my experience with my period, menstruation, and hers. Like that's another. Obviously, this topic's about menopause, but there's, menopause is one part of three. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's important to talk about all the others, but I mean, as you learn about this for yourself and how to care for yourself and what to eat and how to manage your hormone levels, you know, A, women are not doing that for menopause in general.
Yeah.
B, they're not doing that for perimenopause in general. And C, girls are certainly not doing it, and their mothers are certainly not helping them in as far as their first or coming into menstruation. So, right?
Well, and I think society, where a lot of women are programmed, we're not taught to, we're programmed to follow society structure rather than listen to biological
Right.
changes and
Yep.
honor that transition, because it's the most
Yep.
natural and healthy transition, as we go from maiden, child to maiden to
Yep.
mother to crone to elder. These are the natural life transitions we go through in our life cycle, and they're beautiful and healthy, and they're rites of passage. And when we honor that for her and not shame it, which is, what maybe comes in through our own parenting, what we received as kids,
Well, I received the period kit, which was like, I didn't like feel shame. I felt a little bit embarrassed, I guess. But don't you remember the period kit? Like you'd get like
no.
pads and think of it, Tylenol, gravel, a hot water bottle.
Wow.
What was that stuff? It started with an M. Midol. Is that right?
Midol.
Midol.
Right.
Midol.
So it was
And
normalizing pain
yeah,
and how to
and
mitigate pain.
and how to mitigate pain. It had nothing to do with. And then like this is my eating struggles to this very day: ginger ale and a free get out of school free card, no questions asked. Like if I had my period and I didn't feel good, my mom was like, "Oh, no problem. Like you can stay home." My mom would have Shoppers Drug Mart deliver to my house teen magazines like Teen Beat, okay, and like a bottle of ginger ale. And then like if I mean we had a stacked medicine cabinet with like plenty of pain meds. So usually I didn't need that, but whatever you needed, she would order from Shoppers and then they would just bring it to the door and deliver it. Crackers, chips, like whatever, man. Chocolate. Oh yeah, chocolate, licorice.
Right.
All the shit that just perpetuated the
That made
inflammation
more
and made it
pain,
worse.
and
Right?
Yeah.
But to this day, when I don't feel good, the first thing that I want is junk. The first thing that I want is ginger ale, painkillers. Well, actually, that's not true. I don't want
Because of the
painkillers,
association.
but I want the pain to go away. Like I don't
Yeah.
like to feel pain. Well, I smoke weed, so yeah, I guess.
Well, and pain is part of the process of learning. Like we learn the most when we feel pain, and when we have symptoms. That's our body's way of communicating to us. And when we can understand the origin of those symptoms, then we can take better care of our body rather than mask them with medication.
See, for me, it's more the word sick. Like pain for me, like the other day when I sliced open my hand and there's blood, I'm like, I just like wrap it and back to work I go. But it's if I don't feel good, you know what I mean? I can handle an emergency medical issue
Yeah.
more than I can handle like not feeling well.
So
If I had an upset stomach, or that's much like way more detrimental to me than if I was just in like if I'd put a nail through my foot. No problem. Remember I put a screw through my hand last year. Backed it out. Had to back it out like quite a bit. And then separate two pieces of wood that it was sandwiched in between. Okay.
jeez.
Don't mind that. Like, I mean, I mind it, but
But like
that's different.
that's
It's so crazy.
also you're teaching yourself how to tolerate pain in different ways as an adult, versus when you're younger and you're taking Midol, eating chocolate,
Yeah.
normalizing beyond the couch with the heating pad or whatever.
Yeah.
That is what you associate
Mm-hmm.
is how you take care of that kind of pain.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the associations and then the stories that we feed those associations.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got PMS. I don't want to do that, or I don't want to be around you, or leave her. Oh, don't talk to her. She's PMSing.
She's bitchy. She's cunty. Watch out.
Versus, let's increase your protein intake.
Let's go for a walk. Let's get
do
some
some
sunlight.
walk.
Get some
Yeah.
fresh air.
Yeah.
You've got energy pent up inside of you, right? Like for a lot of women, they need orgasms, and then their husbands. It's like, well, even we know about that, and it's like you have this like yin and yang energy when one person is in like when one of you is in period. I don't always want to be around you, but like you need an orgasm, and it's like, well, right? Like that's tough.
Well, and when we're bleeding, that is when we're actually the most intuitive. That's when we're closest to God.
Yeah.
And that's when we can hear the messages from Great Spirit speaking to us. But women that are very disconnected from their bodies and from connection to nature, what do? We become pattern humans where we maybe want to watch old movies and lay on the couch and eat chocolate and get those comforts.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, when I was working with this hormone lady for months, trying to regulate my cycle, I was having the hormone flu every month, and this was majority of my fertility years. Later, that I really started to put things together that I was having a flu every
used to
month.
get annoyed like a lot. I would be like, what is wrong with this woman? Like, how is she sick all the time?
Yeah, so every month right before my period, I would get so sick because my immune system was so drained that I would have flu-like symptoms.
Like
And
crazy. Like in bed, chills, heating pad.
yeah, couldn't work, can't function, headache,
Yeah.
not well. And it wasn't until I realized that my cycle synced with our immune system, which is all connected to our stress response. So if I'm not managing my stress levels and I'm working the same intensity, working out the same intensity, going to work the same intensity, where our bodies are meant to wind down right before our cycle so that our body can process and do what it needs to do. I was getting really, really sick. So some big takeaways I was learning was I need more protein and I need more relaxation and I need more orgasms so I can move my energy. Orgasms are our body's way of moving energy, the sexual energy that's within us. And when we're in our fertility years, that's what fertility is all about, is that sexual energy. And when we're in those the mother stage of our life, we're using that energy to procreate and to take care. That's why we're also wonderful multitaskers during that stage of our life, because we're caring for our offspring. We're designed primitively for those skills. And so that sexual energy also goes to procreation and wanting to look good and feel good and feeling attractive, which is why a lot of women that are transitioning into perimenopause or menopause struggle with that lack of sexual prowess, because they want to maintain that youthful appearance about themselves, the youthful attractiveness, and still wanting that kind of attention and desire from men. And so it's a really tough transition, but it's one that our society has perpetuated with standards of, looking a certain way and women not aging, which is why women are getting plastic surgery, Botox, dyeing their hair, getting the eyelashes, the nails, trying to maintain these beauty standards that our bodies are actually not designed for. And they're trying to make that natural transition into menopause by releasing a lot of those things. And I think that the perimenopause stage of our life it's actually the transition where kind of like the opposite of puberty. So when you're going through puberty, you're getting these surges of hormones to get your cycle into a rhythm with the moon cycle. But when we're going through perimenopause, your body's actually starting to detransition out of that and go into more of a state of uh, like a steady life, not a cyclical life. It's more steady, and so your body's starting to wind down out of hormones, and so your desires, your energy, your fertility, that creative sexual energy that comes from your sacral chakra, is not going to the same thing as production, reproduction, parenting. It's not going to the same thing of that sexual desire in order to procreate. It's now needing to transition elsewhere into the next chapter of your life. And so a lot of women that transition into their crone phase are starting to reject certain aspects of their life that don't fit anymore. And so our society, where we maintain these jobs that perpetuate the same cycle, and we're going through perimenopause, but this job doesn't fit what my body's now going through, have a hard time adjusting because there's a disconnect. And because we're not in the same multitasking, caring for our kids, working, maintaining our schedules, and doing all that self-care, going to the gym, doing all the things, our bodies are not in that state of multitasking when we're transitioning into menopause. We're trying to reject certain things because we want more simplicity. We want more kind of linear lifestyle where we're doing one thing then the next. We're not juggling 8 balls in the air at one time. And so I've been getting these surges of hot flashes, which some women will say is like the Kundalini energy, this intense energy rising through me, but it's needing to be channeled in another way. And so for a lot of women in Crohn, they're learning to birth creativity in new ways. So women might start writing, they might start doing poetry, they might join reading groups, they might actually start painting, crafting, knitting, channeling their energy, creating in many other ways. But if they don't have those outlets and if they don't have that awareness of themselves, they'll get stuck in anger, rage,
Right.
and fighting, and there's so much resistance. And I was in there. I had a lot of that.
Oh yeah, do tell.
Do you want to, would you like to, why don't you
No, I'm just saying.
share,
do tell.
because you're on the receiving end of that.
Yeah.
You still are.
Well, I do think that it's funny because I do think that most people look at our relationship and think I'm the fucking lunatic, but it's just not the case. It's just not the case. And I think that probably because we're two women, that the situation is better because I'm better equipped probably than a lot of men to handle what that looks like. Whereas I think that that's probably where a lot of relationships in this time of their life goes haywire.
Yeah.
We know that 75% of divorces are initiated by women who are over 40
And
or over 42.
perimenopause.
And so what does that mean? That means that women become erratic emotionally, hormonally they become erratic. And well, the other thing to add to that equation is that most women spend about 25 years of their life on birth control.
Yes.
And birth control tricks women into thinking that they're pregnant. So it's always giving them these certain pheromones and changing these hormonal balances that they have towards the mate that they want to mate with. So they're attracted to more of a
Beta.
some women are attracted to more of a beta male who's more of a provider, and they're looking at, this is why when you see women doing the checkbox of ticking and ticking and ticking, it's because they're on birth control and they're pregnant, essentially, they think. And so their minds are, every man that they date must be not adventurous and not maybe passionate, but practical and employed, good credit, and wears Dockers maybe or something gay.
Well,
like
and they're
that.
generally, they're attracted on birth control. You're generally attracted to a male that is more softer and more feminine,
Yeah.
because it feels safer.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
more of somebody who would be a productive mate. which is what they're looking for at that point in time.
Yes.
And then they hit this age where, okay, we're not trying to have kids anymore, or our kids are whatever, getting older. I'm going to go off of birth control now. I don't need it. And all of a sudden, the person that they've been married to, they may not be attracted to anymore.
Well,
This
and
is
because
very common.
their pheromones and
Yeah, everything changes. So
changes.
they've married this beta guy, and now they want Fabio. So that's why they're, women in those age brackets tend to read these novels, and because they're just not getting what they may actually have really wanted out of life.
well, which is also their primitive response
Yeah.
and natural attraction,
Yeah.
which is an alpha male who's a leader,
Yeah.
who's a protector.
Yeah. So whatever the circumstances are, men have to be, it's mostly men that are being asked to, be in these positions with their wives, obviously, that are going through menopause, and men certainly don't have the equipment that they need. They are not equipped to deal with women in menopause. If you think about it, I have a stepmom that we will never agree on women's health, and it's just, I just said to her, like, women's health is abortion. Like, that's all women's health is to you people. It's just like abortion. That's women's health. It's not. We don't talk at all about menopause. We don't talk at all about menstruation, and we don't talk about perimenopause. And we don't educate men on that topic at all. If you recall, which, look, I don't want a grade 5 boy or even a grade 8 boy necessarily learning about women's health. It's kind of embarrassing. It's just they're not mature enough at that time. But it might be valuable in grade 12 or in university to have classes for men specifically. Not fucking co-ed bullshit, trans stupid shit. Just a class for men to learn about women and to learn about their hormones, what menopause looks like, what perimenopause look like, what.
Don't you think that is supposed to be from the home?
Well, of course it is, but most boys are raised by single mothers
I know, but this is what I'm saying.
and fathers that don't know about menopause. Does your dad? What did your? Yeah. Okay.
I know, but maybe this is the time where we're starting to bring a lot of that back because, we've done a lot of the past couple of years the few years have been around women's health and women's healing. And
Yeah, I disagree. I think the last few years is women's health has just been about abortions. I don't think we've talked at all about menopause. When have we talked about women's health in the last few years?
I think there's been more talk about women's health than just abortion, but I think it's women that are taking the initiative to help themselves and understand and learn. Like,
Yeah, I agree with you, but I don't think that it's focused on menopause or
no,
this.
no, in politics, if you're talking about politics,
No, I'm even in general. Like when we talk about women's health, we're always talking about fitness, and we're talking about how to stay youthful, and we're
well, then
talking about
yes.
nutrition, and right. Like we don't have, like when we had a group here last week, and we were talking, and I just said like, oh, like can we talk about your menopause? Like, and everyone was kind of like it's like a forbidden topic. We don't talk about menopause.
The normalization of discussing the cycles that women go through is what isn't normal.
Even periods, like you have a good friend, you talk about it. If you're a big mouth like me, you talk about it. But in general, I don't think that you're like at the gym and you personally are like asking this girl you're training with about her period. Is that true? Are you asking random people, like, or people that you acquaintances about their periods or menopause or?
I think if you're close to your period yourself and you have the what's going on, you do talk about it to the people that you're close to.
Mm-hmm.
Like the more that I've embraced my feminine,
Yeah.
I feel like I can talk about it to like my friends.
Yeah,
at the
but that's
gym.
not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you like the other you.
No,
No,
no.
you're not talking about it.
I hid my period for like
That's
the
what I'm
first
saying.
2 years.
Like we're not talking about this. Like this is not a topic that 90%
It was not like
of
taboo.
women are
It
talking
was
about.
taboo to talk about
is
so
taboo.
openly and freely.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we didn't even know that there were 4 phases of our cycle. Like
Yeah.
I learned that in my late 20s, early 30s. Early 30s, I learned I had 4 phases to my cycle,
Yeah.
which was pretty well when I was exiting out of all of it together.
Yeah. Like I don't know anything really about it. I just know what you tell me. And I know when I'm getting my period based on when Danielle's getting her period, our producer's wife, and that's it. Like I don't know a lot. I wasn't taught a lot. It doesn't really interest me. It impacts me, but I don't feel like I personally don't feel like I'm as choose my words wisely here. I personally don't feel like I'm as impacted hormonally as you are.
I would agree as well. I'm not. I'm not. I mean, I'm not hormonally impacted as like my wife,
Maybe that's because you guys are in your masculine more.
possibly.
Yeah. That's why.
Maybe. I mean,
Because women that are very in tune to their cycle and the moon, because we're supposed to be with the moon cycle, why it's called moon time, and also why it naturally goes with the moon cycle, because that's the feminine energy. The masculine is with the sun, which is what resets every day, which is the men's body. It resets every day. Women's every 28 days. I think women are very much disconnected from their own cycle. And I was my entire fertility years. I was very disconnected.
do you think I'm disconnected from my cycle?
Do you think you're disconnected from
That's
your
not
cycle?
what I asked you.
I think you know it better and better. I think you're learning it better and better because now you're paying more and more attention.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think what started that for us was when we were training at the CrossFit gym. And I was learning a lot more about my training and how exhausted I was when training around my period. And it was because I was going too hard. And then I was starting to learn that, oh my gosh, women should not be doing this kind of training the way that that they're programming. It's not designed for the woman's body. It's designed for the man's body. And so I started to learn from
Right.
other women in the gym that they train around their cycle. And so eating around our cycle, training for our cycle is a way that we can help improve our cycle rather than me with hormone
Yeah.
flu every month,
Right.
trying to maintain the same standard of high intense workouts, balancing my schedule and work and maintaining all
Yeah.
these high expectations of myself, which just kept making me sick in my body. I mean, the beautiful thing about our bodies is that it will always rebalance itself. It always works on bringing it back into homeostasis. So me getting sick was me shutting down.
Right.
So our bodies are always beautifully designed in that way. But we're not, I think women now, it's becoming more and more discussed from what I'm seeing,
I think so too.
that we are discussing it more. It's becoming more familiar. We're recognizing more of our connection with the cycle of the moon and learning more of the 4 phases that we go through. And now also that these are beautiful life transitions that we honor rather than maybe shame or diminish, because our mothers and mothers didn't want to have didn't know how to support their daughters with the transition.
Well, and society wasn't very nice to women either that were going through menopause. Like shock therapy is one example I can think of as recently as like
It's still going on
now.
in Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I experienced my mom going through menopause when I was in my late teens, and it was horrific. It was awful. And I feel really bad for my mom because I don't think that there was good guidance for her because she obviously went to we had a really good like a really good family doctor that was really good at
Prescribing medication.
putting you on drugs. But I mean, he was a nice guy and he was attentive and everything, but they just don't have they're just not equipped. Like most family doctors are just not equipped to, especially a man that would have really no.
They're trained in allopathic medicine, which is pharmaceutical medicine.
Yeah.
That's what their training is. They're not trained in nutrition.
Yeah.
They're not trained on
Hormones.
hormones, lifestyle, exercise, life transitions, the spirituality of it all. They're not trained
Yeah.
on those things. It's just
Yeah.
medicine allopathic model.
So if you go back to the 80s, I mean, well, no, this would be like late 90s, but there's just not a lot of information. Well, there was some books, I guess, because you read a book that was from the 90s on menopause,
80s.
but 80s. So I guess like, probably my mom has to take ownership in that too, that she didn't. But again, like I mentioned earlier, like our family just wasn't. My dad was. My mom wasn't great at anything self-help, natural. It was just what's the prescription, like and that would come from her background. Whereas my dad came from Italy, they didn't have any of that, so everything was just food, nutrition. That was how they were raised. So but anyways, I feel bad because I feel like that was a really, and I feel bad for my dad. Like I feel really bad for my dad, and then so we're having this conversation about men too. Like I feel really bad for men. I feel really bad for men. There's a lot of men that have wives that are going through menopause that are fucking batshit crazy, and whether they have a breaking point or whether like they just don't, but they don't quite understand, and there's no real tools for men on how to deal with it. And that's on men too. Like you have to, men have to have ownership. There are men that are aware of women's health and they could educate themselves, but there's also not a lot of. I've never once seen anything advertised for men, support for men,
No.
education.
Have you actually seen the Chat GPT question that someone posted?
No, tell us.
Asking Chat GPT what the world would be like if men had periods instead like of girls, and Chat GPT said, well, periods would be a sign of strength. There would be like mandatory paid like menstrual leave. Fashion would accommodate periods through function and comfort. Free period products in every public spaces, and like the research and funding for that health would be obviously like, yeah.
I'm surprised it didn't say men do get their periods and men are strong for doing so.
Like imagine if
But
if it was,
that's true. But we've always said that if men were the ones that got periods, there would be endless amounts of pads or tampons or whatever
research
ingenious thing they would come up with for them.
like
It's just like men with condoms, right? Like, well, we can reference Love is Blind because why not? Like, I'm not ashamed, even though I kind of am. But we don't watch a ton of TV, but for whatever fucking reason, we watch that show from time to time. And we got in on it this year. And this fucking Ramses guy, I want to fucking punch his little fucking Venezuelan face in. I fucking hate him. I rage over him. How he's like, I can't wear a condom.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so your girlfriend has to fuck up her entire body, her entire system has to get re-fucking configured because you don't like how your dick feels with a fucking condom on it. I mean, or you're too stupid to pull out. Like, what? I don't know what it is, but this guy makes me want to fucking rage on him.
Yeah.
But that's always been the standard. But if it was the other way around, the men would be like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Like, right?
I mean, that was normalized for women is we'll just go on birth control and then we don't have any issues.
And like, little did we know that
It causes all kinds of issues.
I did know, like, I'm pretty awake to all that stuff, and I always was, and I kind of knew a little bit of this and that, and I did go on birth control, but not for very long, and I got pregnant on it anyway, so that was just a fucking anyway. But it is a really fucked up. The whole thing about it is really crazy about how there's just no education for men on the topic of it, like husbands. I mean, in the olden days when church was rightfully so a bigger part of the community, if you were going to get divorced, you'd like have to go to your pastor or priest for therapy to try to get your marriage back on board.
Yeah, marriage
There's
counseling,
nothing like that anymore other than marriage counseling, which nobody can afford. And if they can, there's very few therapists, especially. And then if you want an unwoke therapist, then the pie gets even smaller and smaller and smaller, right? And of course, that's just a reality of our system. But so there's just not a lot of resources. I just feel like that's
It's also a cultural thing. Like in North America, we have terms for menopause. We have terms for like midlife crisis. We have terms for all these kinds of um, symptoms and challenges that we go through because we've created these labels to describe our challenges. Whereas in a lot of other cultures, that doesn't exist. Like there was no, in Mayan and Japanese cultures, there was no labeling like this. And it's because their life transitions into menopause were so much more natural and healthy. We have so many more issues, health issues here that create
interesting.
a lot of these symptoms. Whereas other cultures have much more connection to nature, eating better, healthier, less stressful lives, and can transition more organically than
Yeah.
a lot of
Okay.
people in North America.
Well, I have to be honest. I think I'm one of those people because I feel like I've always had a pretty good relationship with my period, like to a degree. Like not knowing a lot about it or paying a lot of attention to it, but I feel like it's been nice. You know
It's
what I
been
mean?
consistent that you know it pretty well.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just I've known women who have had fibroids, that have had ovaries explode. I've known women that have had uh, endometriosis. I've known women that have had to have hysterectomies in their 30s. Um, I've known all kinds of different women that have had all kinds of reproductive issues. And I just have been lucky, and I've not really had a lot of that experience. Now, would I attribute that to not going on birth control until I was in my mid 20s and then getting off of it in my like within 4 years? That could be part of it. Or it could be that I've been overall healthy for most of my life. I haven't been 500 pounds. I haven't been addicted to alcohol or drugs, or you know what I mean? So I haven't been a crazy fitness model where I've lost my period because I'm so
Yeah.
right? Like everything's been pretty regular for me. I would think. I would say.
I didn't realize that I started working with naturopath for a little bit around balancing my hormones when I started having a lot of health issues. And I didn't realize that the first year after you start menstruating, your ovaries are developing the connection to your brain, building the wiring connection in order to release hormones. So when you
Oh
go
shit.
on synthetic hormones, that disrupts that natural connection that your body needs to develop.
So I don't like want to have to make everything trans, but that would really be the same thing with puberty blockers. Like that would be a major issue with that, would it not? Then,
Well, yeah.
right? I mean that would like stop the connection before or as it's starting.
Yeah, and it's going to create a lot of problems for menopause or the natural transitions later in life too. The other rites of passage that your body has to go through.
Right.
So there's going to be so many health issues for people that are on hormone blockers, and I've seen it in my practice. I know.
Yeah, right.
But so my transition from when I was 16, I had an ovarian cyst erupt, and I had the whole ovary removed at 16. And I felt like I was going through menopause at that time for like 2 years after because I was having hot flashes. I was sweating through all my clothes at school. I was having huge hormonal issues, mood swings like crazy, but nobody was talking to me about it. Nobody was
Yeah.
explaining what was happening.
But see, I remember even when we met, you telling me that and you saying, I felt like I went through menopause.
Yeah.
So it was like way before you knew that you actually would have gone through menopause, like, because I guess maybe twice, because you go for one ovary and then maybe it's based on, and maybe that's what it's based on. Maybe that's why it's gradual, because maybe your ovaries are shutting down, whereas like you had an ovary shut down, and then perhaps menopause for that ovary, And then you can, right? And then you continue with this weak, inconsistent cycle of one ovary that's now doing the work of two ovaries. And it can only go for so long. And then eventually,
Yeah.
it's like our chickens.
Yeah.
Okay. They go from laying 330 eggs a year to 300 to 270 to 130 to 70. And
Yeah.
then it's like, yo, time to make soup.
Your
No,
body's done.
but I'm not going to make soup out of you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Nice.
Good recovery.
That was good.
It is interesting.
Yeah, because
whole-
it's totally interesting. It just feels
Yeah.
like your body just went on this, right? You know, I don't want to say decline because that's not what I'm trying to say, but
No,
It's like a decline in production, and then
Well, and all I was told was, oh, you probably still get pregnant, and your other ovary will just.
I
pick up.
tried, man. That was not going to happen. I really tried.
Thanks. I know. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Men can have. I don't get it, you guys. Men can have babies. Okay, so why can't
You get
two women
Jen
have
pregnant?
babies? Like when I was doing it, I thought. So that's all it takes. They said.
It's a good try.
It's just
I
you have
guess
to
it's your
think it.
intention.
Yeah. Anyway, there's some conflicting information going around, I think, but
Anyways, the whole allopathic model did not work for me my entire reproductive years. From surgery to what was the answer to my hormone fluctuations after all that was put her on birth control.
yeah.
To trying different birth controls over 16 to 20, so 2 decades.
20 years.
20 years of different kinds of birth control to then getting an IUD, which was probably the most traumatic experience, getting put in and getting removed, both by men who were just like, oh, just take some Tylenol.
Yo, this is the other thing that to me is crazy. Like, we have to just touch on this while we're here. Okay? With all due respect, any guy that's a woman's reproductive doctor is a fucking creepo.
Yeah.
Like, we got to talk about this. Like, what the fuck?
Like a male gynecologist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I went to an appointment with you, and there was a male student. Like, he wasn't going to be a vagina doctor. He was like doing the rounds. You have to go in this department. You have to do it.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, like, he was just so like, like that's the guy that he's not a pedophile. That guy is like, get me the fuck out of here. I'll hold a guy's balls all day long, but I do not want to be doing this. Like, this is weird.
Well, it
That's
changes
the
your
right-
perspective.
That's the right reaction. That's
So-
the right reaction. He shouldn't be like, yeah, let me fucking get in there. Let me go a bit deeper.
I mean, I dated a
little to the
male
left.
medical student for a while, and he was all medical model, obviously, when suggested the IUD and that it's really safe. Anyways, he was doing the gynecology rounds, and he just said it just like it kind of shook him because it changes his perspective around his relationship with a female body. And I remember I was going through I saw a lot of gynecologists, which none of them helped me, like really helped me. And the one was totally creepy. And then I find out later that he's had like sexual issues with like interference with female patients. Yeah, a local doctor that yeah. Anyways, so my entire reproductive years, fertility years, have been all allopathic medicine, and just destroyed my cycle, hormones, and I'm pretty sure I broke up with every guy during a mood swing.
Do you know how many times you broke up with me on a mood swing?
Yeah,
And Jess is still here.
yeah.
Congrats.
Because that's what I'm saying though. That's what I'm saying though, is I feel like women are better equipped. Like, this is
You understand it.
This is
versus
why,
a
like, I'm
man.
gonna make a very controversial statement. Like, I'm not always sure that every gay person is gay. Like, I mean, I'm not discounting that there are, like, obviously, like, where I'm married. Okay, like, don't kill me. But I just feel like sometimes some gay people are just better equipped to deal with that sex.
And I think it's just safer, especially if
Well,
there's a
of
history of
course,
sexual trauma.
of
Yeah.
course, that's part of the whole thing, of course.
Yeah.
But so I think that's the case a lot. I think that women understand women much better
Yes. Yeah, of
than men
course.
Yeah.
understand women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if there's a woman with sexual, what do we call it now? AC? What's it called?
Oh, sexually assaulted. So SA.
Women with SA,
Yeah.
then I see that a lot in a lot of lesbians. A lot of them are victims of SA. And again, I'm not saying that there's no such thing as gay people, but I just don't think that many people were hiding in the closet all these years. I just think it's safer
Well,
and feel more. I mean,
and there's a lot of women that are in their 40s who are leaving their husbands for women.
yes,
Saw
yes.
that a lot at my last workplace. A lot of women becoming lesbians.
Mm-hmm.
So there's also us too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Us too. So it's just interesting. Like it's really interesting.
Yeah.
But I think there's
Let's just go off on a tangent a little bit then. Why? Like, why are women leaving and
because they're getting their
becoming?
emotional needs met.
Yeah.
And I wonder if like birth control, hormones, perimenopause,
Mm-hmm.
perimenopause,
Mm-hmm.
huge. I can see that for a lot of women leaving their husbands and going to another woman
Mm-hmm.
to get their needs met.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that women that are in that stage don't ever want to have sex, but that might be a whole other thing too, is that women do have a decrease in their sex drive when they enter into menopause.
Mm-hmm.
And men often, that's where there's a disconnect too in a lot of marriages, is with men and men wanting to have more sex than the woman wants to have in that stage. And I know a woman that went on carnivore that all of a sudden has a really crazy increase in libido at an older age, which is awesome, but that's not the norm.
Well, and because testosterone for women is developed in the ovaries.
Right. Right. So no more periods mean no more testosterone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that's
Doesn't necessarily mean that all women going through menopause will have a low libido.
no, of course not.
Someone will have a high libido. Everything's dependent on your lifestyle, your stress,
Right.
your outlets,
Nutrition, weight,
all those things.
yeah, of course.
So it's not clear cut.
But again, like I think there's like 65% of Canadians that are overweight or obese. So like that's
Yeah.
a really big chunk of people that are
Yeah.
going to be going through menopause and having those symptoms.
It's actually the ovaries and the adrenal glands produce about 40 to 50% of the body's testosterone in women.
Ovaries and adrenal.
And adrenal glands are where we also produce stress hormones. So if we're in high stress lifestyles, you get adrenal fatigue, and that can take like a year, 2 years to rebuild.
Mm.
So you're already
Interesting.
depleting your testosterone levels going into perimenopause.
That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
And I can see how women, because we have so many health issues in North America, how many women are looking to hormone replacement therapy or different forms of hormone therapies to help them with the transition. That being said, I've done a lot of reading now around hormone replacement therapy, whether it's synthetic or horse equine, because the horse urine hormones are more.
I'll take that shit.
They're more.
I don't care. I put my own
what's
pee
the
on my
word?
face every day and drink my own pee with horse pee.
It's a similar hormonal equivalent to humans than
take that
a
shit.
plant-based
Yeah.
estrogen or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'd rather have horse-based than plant-based. I
Yeah.
don't trust anything anymore that's plant-based. That's all such a scam.
What I've been reading though about the synthetic hormones or just hormone replacement therapies, there's a number of other health challenges that can come from it, right? Because you're altering your hormones still, just like taking birth control, that there still can be something that's happening. And if you're taking hormone replacement therapies, it will reduce certain symptoms because it's keeping your body in that fertility state. And so it can also prolong the first fertility state. And then later, if you were to wean off, your body still has to go through the natural phase, the natural transition, the rite of passage into menopause.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair, but like, don't you think some women that are like really experiencing major highs and lows?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you can argue that someone that's experiencing that kind of high and low wouldn't be better off taking a little bit of testosterone and going like this over like a few years, and then slowly
Yeah.
going off,
Slowly wean off.
off. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm just like knowing from people that I talk to that these can be really devastating, not only for
It's hard to function.
right? Not only for like obviously the women, but like as a child of a woman that was fucking insane during her menopause, that has a big fucking toll on your family.
Family, work, husband.
Like, I
Yep.
mean, like I almost felt like I had like Munchausen by proxy when my mom was going through menopause, because she was so fucking crazy that I was like, am I like, is there something wrong with me? Like, am I bad? Like, I came home from college, and my mom had everything that I owned on the front lawn. Everything I owned on the front lawn, and was like, get out of here.
Wow.
Like, okay, like, what the fuck, yo? Good thing I had a minivan and I could pack everything in my minivan. Like, what the fuck?
Erratic.
Like, very, very erratic.
Yeah.
And then like a week later, like, I'm really sorry. Like, that might have been a bit much, but you really upset me, and I guess you can probably come back. And I'm no, like, I can't do that. Like, I can't, like, no.
I think look, it's no different than somebody wanting to take medication for anxiety or depression just to help them function. In those extreme cases, your body's really out of balance.
Yeah.
And so people will use different
Yeah.
medications to
Yeah.
help to bring them back
I
into
get
balance.
it. I hear you. I'm just against, like, I get it. I don't like the medications because it's different to me than horse urine. Like, if I want to drink horse urine and that can help level me out, then I don't really see. I'm just hoping that the people that need the mental health stability side can find something else that's not like that. Smoke weed. Like, I would rather people that are having that issue find a natural way to deal with it than going on pharmaceuticals. That's all I'm saying. Whether it's
Yeah.
exercise, diet, marijuana,
Well, those are the
mushrooms,
main factors.
right?
Those are the main factors that impact your cycle. So your mom, was she focusing on nutrition? No.
If nutrition is Wendy's and
That's what I mean.
ice cream,
So it's going to perpetuate those highs and lows. It's going to exacerbate them.
yeah,
I think we're there's so much unhealthy lifestyles already and high stress lifestyles that those transitions, you're going to go through those highs and lows more intensely
yeah,
because you're having a harder time regulating yourself. You're having a harder time coming back into balance. Whereas in other cultures, they have healthier lifestyles. So their transitions are much easier.
right. Which is like what I'm saying about me is that I feel like my transition will be
Your
different.
transition's going to be a lot smoother because I've already gone through and we're learning all the fucking things.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You're such a wise crone.
Thanks. I do like
No, it
this.
is true,
I
though.
do like the stage though.
Yeah.
Like at the moment I started to actually embrace, but I had to go through, and this is what women might not realize, is that they have to grieve that chapter of their life. They have to grieve
Right.
not having any babies or having any more babies. They have to grieve
Yeah.
what feels like the most, like their most sexual,
Vivacious.
vivacious,
Yeah.
vitality, you know, like those kinds of,
Just okay. Justin Trudeau can make up words now, so you can make up
I
words.
can make up words.
Totally.
Vivacious.
Vibe
That's one.
Adelish.
Vibe Adelish.
It's like a combination of the two. Totally.
So women have to, because they associate menopause as they're drying
Yeah,
up,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
they're going gray, hair thinning,
Yeah.
like they're losing life,
But
right?
again, that's just because the generations before us haven't been allowed to be very, like, I think since about the 1950s, it's been really hard for women to go through this stage of life with, what's the word, like, not respect, but like, come on, help me out here. Grace.
Right.
Okay, because this is when they started getting pushed all of the stuff where they can't age, they can't do this, right? This is when all the pharma came out. This is where all the products that they're
Oh,
selling
and
them,
then the huge commercial
right?
industry of beauty
Yep.
products,
Yeah.
cream, anti-wrinkle
Yeah.
cream.
And if you did and you were loud about it, your husbands could literally send you to an asylum for shock therapy. Think about all
Well,
this.
and women
It's
fearing that
crazy.
their husband's not wanting them. Like that's the other fear is that I'm not going to be sexually attractive to my husband because that's how you've been living for say
Right.
30 years,
Right.
20, 30 years, whatever, that you are sexually attractive. You are desirable. And so this transition can make women feel that they are no longer desirable or attractive. So what's my purpose? Where do I belong?
I
Who
have
wants
to, like,
me?
I'm feeling that right now in my life. Like, I'm going through the phase where our daughter is like 13
yeah.
and beautiful, and she's coming into her young years, and I'm feeling like older, and am I desirable? And I don't mean to like people on the street, I mean to you, like in general, like, am I still desirable? Like, is that, and I mean, I know I think most women go through that, but it is an interesting shift because I mean,
Yeah.
I was I think I think I was desirable. So that is a tough change for women to go
100%.
from young and men are looking at me to, are you fucking looking at my kid, bro? I'm gonna fucking knock
Yeah, now
your
I'm going to stand
fucking
in
head
front of my
off.
kid because do you look at her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at
You
me,
look at me.
motherfucker.
Yeah. That's the huge that's
Yeah.
another part of this that women don't talk about as much as they should is that this is part of the natural transition of they the teenager is stepping into that vitality and that sexual attractive energy
Yeah.
because that's her stage of life,
Yeah.
right? To attract that male partner.
Right.
And as women going into perimenopause, we are starting to transition out of that.
Yeah.
And learning to embrace that transition is the most uncomfortable experience because we have been programmed to keep our beauty standards as we get older. Like the jokes of, oh, I'm not turning 40, I'm still 39.
Yeah.
Right? Like all an anti-wrinkle cream or, oh, your face looks so good. What's your secret?
Piss.
Piss. Yeah.
My own piss.
Your yes, we know your pee. But like that's
100%. Yeah.
and so the crone phase and the other like indigenous cultures, it's the wise woman phase. And the wise woman is the one that has lived, has experience, has built wisdom
Yeah.
through knowledge and experience.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you can't possibly understand this until you get there. And I can remember being 20, 25 and thinking like I just fucking knew everything.
Yeah.
And then I remember being 35 and thinking I knew everything. But guess what I did at 35? I voted for fucking Justin Trudeau. So at 35, I did not know anything or everything. And then at like 43, I'm 43, right? Am I 42?
You're 42.
Anyway, I think I might be 43.
Oh.
But anyway, let's say I hope I'm 42. That I feel like now I'm really starting to understand the world and how things work, and it's terrifying to think that they want to lower the voting age to 16 or whatever, because you could see now as you get older why they want to do that, because at 13, at 16, at 20, at 25, you're so retarded still.
You're young and dumb still. Like
I mean,
'cause
honestly,
you haven't
even
had the experience yet.
I mean, really, at 30, you're just starting to kind of scratch the surface. It's
Yeah.
really, I think, at 40
Yeah.
that you start to, you have some time.
I can't wait.
I
But
can't wait.
but
Can't wait.
I also feel like you started doing like ayahuasca and stuff. So that's, I think that gives you cred,
And I
street
have
cred.
you.
Yeah,
I have you.
Yeah.
it's true.
So
It's true. But you get cred from doing so many like ceremonies. I do feel like medicine does give you the ability to see things differently
knowledge and wisdom.
Absolutely.
than if you didn't do it. So you get street cred from that.
Absolutely.
But I do think that there's something to be said for yeah. What's up, homie? Yeah, East Side. Wait, I'm
Mushroom
retarded. I'm
gang.
so high right now.
Mushroom gang.
I'm so high. East Side. No, in in London, that's what the guys used to do. East Side.
Oh, perfect.
If you're from the East End, what's up?
What's up?
What's up?
Mm.
And then if you're from the West End, West Side.
Perfect.
And then you were a bad guy if you're from the West End, though.
Wow.
But then you were a
Wow.
really bad guy if you're from Pond Mills. What's up, Pond Mills? You were in the Lebanese gang.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Can we talk about ceremonies for a second, actually? Because that's really...
Yeah. You don't want to talk about the Lebanese gang
No,
in the 90s and the White Oaks crew?
no.
Oh,
We're
okay.
not from London.
Oh, okay.
Laura and I did ceremony yesterday with mushrooms, and my experience, because I've been reading so much about menopause and learning about this natural transition in my life, that the ceremony yesterday was all about maternal lineage healing
Mm.
and seeing for my grandmother to my mother to me, because when I was in
Say it, girl. Say it, girl. When you were in your mom's.
when my mom was in her mom's womb,
Yep.
and she was 4.5 months pregnant with my
Mhm.
mom. I was in her.
Mhm.
I was one of the eggs in her.
Yeah.
So that's like the three
So the three,
generations
yeah.
are so connected.
Mhm.
And I felt that yesterday.
Mm.
And I was having big epiphanies around
Mm.
the life transitions, being the child to, the maiden to the mother to now I'm in crone,
Mhm.
and seeing how understanding that my mom has gone through those phases, my grandmother has gone through those phases, and then became the elder and then went back to the stars, and how I grieved my grandmother, but I also grieved for my mom losing her mom,
Mhm.
and how much like understanding I had of that now,
Yeah.
rather than like just young and I don't think much of that, but going through this natural phase, this rite of passage into crone, I'm learning so much more about womanhood
Mhm.
and sisterhood and the power of being the mother.
Mhm.
Like I realize how much I am a mother in so many ways, especially my own practice.
Mhm.
I like everyone says I'm very nurturing
Yeah.
and motherly, and I'm
Mhm.
realizing, my whole practice has been mothering.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And part of my grief was I never got to have a baby myself, even though I always wanted to be pregnant and have a baby.
Mhm.
And so the grief of not having that opportunity,
Yeah.
because I've been actually in perimenopause for 5 years, 6 years,
Yeah. Well, at least
6,
they
7
say
years
you're in
prior to-
perimenopause for 7 to 10 years.
Yeah, so I was
So
in
you could have been in basically in perimenopause from like 27.
for most of my 30s.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that wasn't my story. That wasn't meant to be for me. So the amount of grief of not having that same lineage of like
Mhm.
child, mother, grandmother to be carried
Yeah.
down through me
Mhm.
was like the other like
Yeah, I get. Yeah.
pain that I had to cry.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we did cry.
And we did cry. We did cry.
Mhm.
Grief is so beautiful, though. Grief is something that I don't think a lot of us let us feel that deeply into, and it's really the pain of grief is just how much love we are able to hold
Mhm.
and how much love we have.
Yeah.
So this transition into crone is grieving everything, all the chapters before this.
Mhm.
And it is the moment I accepted that and I stepped into crone,
Mhm.
I like became empowered again.
Mm.
I became so much more embodied and so much more feminine.
Mm-hmm.
And I have totally embraced it in so many different ways. And this part of this transition has been letting go of a lot of even the clothes that I used to wear that were during my fertility years,
Mm-hmm.
of, wearing tights and looking a certain way and doing my hair and my nails and my makeup. And I've really let a lot of that go and stepped just completely more into authentic version of me,
Yeah.
but also the
Mennonite Jen.
Mennonite Jen. Like love wearing skirts and dresses, like really embracing femininity.
Mexican peasant Jen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guatemalan
Or the sweater.
slave Jen.
Yeah, the sweater. The sweater Danielle made with her hands. With her hands.
It's so great.
It's so beautiful.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even as that transition, our tastes change,
Mm-hmm.
right? What we desire starts to change.
Yeah, so this is another
Yeah.
thing for men. I know there's not many men listening. I know there is a few men listening. Let's talk
It'd be
about
great
it.
if
Because I
men
do
were
like
listening to
these
this
men.
one.
I met some cool guys in Woodstock at the farm
Show?
farm show. And if they're listening, like, and you have wives, like, guys, fuck. So I can't tell you how many times in the past 5 years that Jen has to change her entire wardrobe. Like, all of a sudden, I hear the closet start whoosh, 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 and I'm like, oh man. And I hear, garments and hangers hitting the floor, and I'm like, oh no, what's going on down there? What are you doing? Oh, I'm going through our clothes. Oh no, I'm not feeling any of them anymore.
That's exactly what she says.
And
nothing's working.
nothing
This
fits me
doesn't-
right. Nothing
No.
feels right.
Yeah.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Yeah.
So she thinks that because she has this routine where she purges all these clothes, gets rid of them, that she can go out and buy more clothes. And if they're vintage, even better, then the more merrier. The more the merrier, which usually they are. So it's like, I spent $60 and got 27 things. It's
Yeah.
a pretty good buy, but it doesn't change the amount of clothes that are on the rack. It just switches. They just switch out.
My transition has been like expedited. It's been like super fast compared to a healthy woman's transition that has her ovaries. So, and
Oh, are you like a trans ovariist or something? Can we give you a label?
no,
What are you?
no.
What are you? Because I'm a bi, I'm a, I'm a bi ovary woman. I'm a bi ovary woman because I have two working ovaries. So I'm a bi ovary woman. What are
So
you?
I'm a uni ovary.
No, you're a zero.
I have
You're
one still.
Oh, but it's not working. No offense. Hate to say that, but you're in menopause, so it's shut down. The power plant's turned off. The nuclear station
Yeah,
is
but the cool thing with like I still have my reproductive organs, and they still do stuff.
like what? What are they doing?
Well, they're still producing things, but
Oh.
not to the extent they're not signaling to my brain anymore the high intense hormone releasing that needed for fertility.
right.
But
So
I'm
what's your ovary doing though? What is your one ovary doing? It's not dropping an egg.
no, but
So what's it doing?
actually I'm not sure.
It's just chilling.
It's making some testosterone
And-
and progesterone.
And
Can you check that?
estrogen?
What does the ovary do after menopause? What do the ovaries do?
I think it's just not to the same level.
Well, let's let Google tell us.
With menopause, the ovaries stop making the hormones estrogen and progesterone. The ovaries also stop releasing eggs. After menopause, you can no longer become pregnant. That they didn't
Yes,
tell me
unless you're a
anything.
man. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Ovaries do anything. Continue to produce small amounts of hormone estrogen after menopause. So they produce oestrogen.
Estrogen.
Estrogen.
Yeah. So different variation. Like the estrogen, there's 3 different main estrogens
Estrogen.
that fertility women use. And then there's 3 different estrogens. One main one that women use with hormone therapies. And then we also have, I think that's pronounced xenoestrogens. Basically, it's like carcinogenic estrogens that impact
Yikes.
our health that are
Sounds
from
crazy.
environmental exposure. Anyways, there's a lot to hormones. There's so much to hormones. But energetically, spiritually, that is still my sacral chakra, and that's still producing high energy. And that's where
Yeah.
creation
Oh,
comes
it's
from.
definitely producing high energy still. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
A lot of high energy.
Yeah.
A lot of high energy.
Yeah. But now I'm learning to channel it better
Yes.
because I didn't know what it was before.
Yeah.
Now I'm realizing that surge of energy is still needs to be birthed into creation in some way. So for me, it's actually returning back to painting.
Yeah, painting's really good for you.
And when I had my ovary removed when I was 16 is when I first really started to sit down and really paint. And my painting that I did after that surgery is still my favorite painting because I did the most detailed and like most detailed work, and I loved it so much. And now even into menopause, now I'm going back to painting, so it feels like a full circle.
I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. What's our time?
Whenever you guys want.
Yeah, but I said, what
This
is the
is good.
time?
Just over an hour.
Hour 14.
Cool.
Anyways, I
Anything
think
else
it's
you wanna talk about?
I think for women, women's circles, women's like sisterhood, women need more women and to normalize and to support each other during
Yeah.
this phase
Yep.
more than ever before, because other women will learn how to channel their energy, and then they can also it can be helpful in marriage if they both partners understand that.
Oh, yeah. I think that's actually something that we should look at doing is some kind of like couples menopause thing.
You should.
Or at least like, yeah, or something. Or at least just, I don't know, present it to a man. Maybe it needs to be led by a man, but men need some kind of, we have to help women and men, but men need help too to communicate and to understand what's happening. Because I think we can avoid, I think right now, I think divorce is just way too easy. And I think a lot of people get divorced prematurely, and menopause isn't considered as a reason of why they're having a difficult patch in their marriage.
It
Sometimes.
can be really bonding and really an opportunity for the couples to grow together when they can support their spouse through that life passage.
Yeah.
Right? And like be strong space holders and really become more in tune to their partner during that phase. And even men, like North America, we've categorized as a men's, menopause or a midlife crisis for men. Men go through transitions too, because again, in our society where it's work, 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 and then retire, that's the rite of passage in the matrix. The rite of passage in nature is not that whatsoever. So our bodies are
Right.
going against what's in the matrix.
Yeah, it's true. Like if you think about it, men when they're like 60, 55, 60 are like kind of done. Like life is over. Think about it. Okay? Even if you're like a professional athlete, by the time you're 55, nobody gives a fuck about you anymore. Okay? You're lucky if you're getting asked to go to a charity golf tournament to sign fucking hats or something like that, right? It's over. Whereas like in those older cultures, the men would be into their 80s and leading. That would be the leader.
The
right?
mentor.
The mentor. But here,
Yeah.
you're just like a useless, like from 65 to 85, you got nothing. You got nothing going on.
Well,
and
then
that's for
yeah.
women too. I mean, let's face it, right? The grandma, like, what is she doing now?
Well, you lose purpose.
Right. And when we
Yeah.
were kids, the grandma raised the kids. Like, the grandma was the caretaker. Nowadays, really, you have all kids in daycare. And you have the grandmothers who are these, generation baby boomers that don't want to do, a lot of them don't really do much. They're just so used to being fed with their silver fucking spoons that they don't want to really hang out. It's kind of like my parents. My parents don't really do
The
very
baby
much.
boomers?
Yeah, like baby boomers are like, what are your parents like? No offense, but like your parents are just like wasting, like blowing their money traveling everywhere all the time. Like what's going like? Same with my parents. My parents just go traveling. Like they don't. What are they doing? They're not doing anything. Like they have no purpose.
But that's what they've been programmed to do. Work, 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 retire, and then you can see the world.
Yeah.
Then you can have fun.
Right. But they're like not having fun because they're like not well and not well, but you know, like not in like I traveled all through my 20s. I was invigorated. I was young. I was youthful. I had a great fucking time. That's when you should be traveling. When you bungee jump and you do all these crazy things and because you have balls and
Yeah,
you're
except
adventurous
the whole
and
time that you and I were both traveling when we were really young, we were both backpacking the world on our own.
Mhm.
And all I know that I wanted, wherever I traveled, I realized I was so lonely and all I wanted was like to find someone
we could have been
and to.
together.
We
Greta.
We could have been
did. We
together.
got there. We got
Yeah,
there.
I know, and I hear you. I really do. But I still think though that the missing piece is I do think it would be nice for a couple to get married at a young age, like in the olden days, 18 to 22. Spend a couple of years together. Have adventures, have fun.
Yeah.
And then in your mid to late 20s, start having kids. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But again, I think I get your point because we were taught to do it alone. We
Yeah.
were taught that we didn't need a
That
man or a
was what
partner.
was success and freedom
Totally.
and
We were
happiness.
just, yeah. But had we had met each other and just been together then, you know what I mean? It would have been, it still would have been amazing
Sure, of course it would have.
because then you have a partner to enjoy it with, and
Yeah.
then you're building your life and your relationships, and I think that's fantastic. You know?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know. Like I just focus on where we are now, and I'm just focusing on what the next chapter is because I'm really excited about it. Because with that, you know, like the death of like that past version of me is being
Yeah.
reborn into something new, right? That that death brings rebirth,
Yep.
and so a lot of women in the crone phase like become a brand new version of themselves and something that they can step into, things that they never thought they could imagine before, and like it's like a brand new life starts for them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. And I look at a lot of these women mentors that we have in our lives, and I think it's pretty cool to be like 60, 65, 70. Like, I think that's like the new 40. Like, I see a lot of cool women that are in their 60s
Yeah.
that are becoming, like, let's give a shout out to Donna Costa. What's up, Donna? Who's like an author of multiple books. Multiple books, different types of books. So cool. That's so cool.
And later in life, she started.
Later in
writing.
life, yeah. And women who are getting their act together, and I look at them and they're in their early 60s and they look better than I do, and I'm like, that's amazing. It gives you something to look forward to as you get into. Look, if all you ever see when you're in your 40s is women who are like fat and ugly and don't take care of themselves and on all kinds of drugs, that's scary for a 20-year-old to look at that and think like, oh my God, in 20 years, that's going to be me. So I look at us in our 40s, or me in my 40s, and I think I'm a good example for our daughter. And I think that not every, teenage girl has that kind of an influence of having mothers like us. And I think that's important, right? And then I see those older women now and I think, perfect. Then I have my, 20-year advancement to look forward to because of you. And I see how you are.
Right.
And in the phase that you're in, and we can be there too, post-menopause, and still have a healthy system. And,
Yeah.
I
think this is part of building the new earth, like what we want to create for the world, is that when we take back our health and we get back into the natural rhythms and cycles of our natural lineage, our birthright here as humans, that we are starting to create the changes for the next generations because we're starting to come back home to who we are.
Yep.
So as we heal in that way, we start to create a different lineage for those that will come.
Right.
So when we
that's cool.
become the elders, right, we can share those stories and those wisdoms and those teachings.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. Menopause. There you go.
101.